All right. Why is everybody going after Puff Daddy for Tupac's murder? I'm gonna speak on that from a gangster's point of view. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you the real what's going on. You know what I mean? They playing games. All right, so let's sit back and get this thing jumping, man. Let's go. All right. All right, this was about Puff Daddy. I do the videos that my people tell me to do. Everybody want to weigh in on it. Everybody's saying, you know Puffy, And you grew up with him. You was with him down in Howard. So they wanted me to speak on Puffy. So I'm going to speak on Puffy, but I'm not going to be biased. I'm just going to keep it 100 what time it is. This going to be all shocking information to you, but you're going to understand because you've been seeing it unfold in front of your very eyes. But it's like when I was going to trial. Let me tell you this one. I was going to trial, right? And, the killer in my case, that alleged killer because he beat it. You know what I mean? Round of applause to the alleged killer that beat it. Round of applause to the alleged killer that beat the body. All right, calm down, y'all. Calm down. You see how crazy that sounded, y'all? That means you on the right track and I was all the way twisted. I celebrated when he beat the charge. That was my co-defendant. You know what I mean? I celebrated, so you understand, Now, we got Puff Daddy here. Everybody is going after Puff, right? Everyone that's going after Puff is, cops, Mr. Reggie Wright. You know what I mean? Listen to this now. I want y'all to really pay attention to this. Don't tune this off. Matter of fact, if you're a rat bastard, get out of here. All right? Here go the 3 count. All right. And take that with you on the way out. Because this thing getting ready to get serious. All right? Now, everybody going after Puffy is cops, you know what I mean? Ex-fake gang members, you know what I mean? That became informants, you know what I mean? I know real gang members that would never become an informant and work with a cop, whether it was Reggie Wright because they grew up with him, they slept in the same bed, they played on the same Pop Warner team. This real life, nigga. Pop Warner team, the police team, and then it's our team of criminals in the world. And that's what I'm speaking for. Not with it no more. Let's get that straight. I just want y'all to, enter into the zone of what it's like so that maybe the youth fall back and realize that, this is too much for them. But you got all these, rat bastard gang members. You know what I mean? I know real gang members. You know what I mean? I would love to tell you their names, but you got these rat bastards that don't like what I'm saying, that'll go put the boys on them. You know what I mean? Because that's how they go. Because, the leader of the Get Puffy team. This the Get Puffy team. All right? This the lineup. You know what I mean? You got the team owner, that want to be all in the videos, you know what I mean? The coach, Reggie White, want to do his own YouTube. Don't you see that he's the opposite of Suge? Didn't Suge start this whole thing, right? Because he said that P. Diddy want to be all up in the videos. If you want to be on the team with your, CEO and your videos, come on over there, death row. You know what I mean? And then now you got Mr. Reggie White, you know what I mean? The CEO and owner of the Get P. Diddy thing, you know what I mean? And YouTube is responsible as well because they allow these people to come up here and say anything and they don't fact check you on YouTube. You say anything out your mouth. If someone, don't like somebody, they run with it. You understand? Now, all of y'all got all these reasons, right? Listen, there's a thing called stay in your lane, you know? Because you don't want to swerve and crash. There's a thing called stay in your lane, you know? If somebody's robbing a bank, you're not going to get involved, right? If you see somebody robbing a bank, you're going to stay in your lane. You know what I mean? Now, you see a man on the way to the top. You understand what I'm saying? Mr. P. Diddy, you know? And everybody want to get in this man's lane. And he's one of us. Look at him and look at me. He could pass for my brother. He could pass for your brother. But the very ones that look at him is the ones that when they look in the mirror, they hate themselves. They hate anything that looks like them. Anything that look like them should perish. Anything that look like them should not thrive. So when you got a black man, Daddy ran in Harlem selling drugs to make a better way for his son to send him to college so he could go to Howard and become a big CEO, record mogul, to be almost at $1 billion or $500 million. And he came from the nutsack of a gangster. And y'all want to tear him down. When you do that and say you gangster. Hey, yo, word is born. Check it out. Right? Everybody going after Puffy is a straight rat bastard and a cop. And I'm even gonna say the name so you understand. I'm not saying that the people watching, you know what I mean, that's going at him. I'm talking about the people that's in charge of put Puffy in jail. The team leader, Reggie Wright, is sitting here, a cop going at a man that never worked with the police. You understand what I'm saying? Come on, man. He didn't get in bed with them. He hired them to do what they had to do because that's what you do when you at that status. You don't go get gangbangers to hold you down with illegal guns and get stopped on a tour bus, and then now nobody wants to claim the gun, and here you go as the big superstar about to get to that billion, and you caught up like Lil Wayne sitting in Rikers Island for a gun on a tour bus. But if he had a doggone cop that he legitimately paid to carry his gun, then he wouldn't have needed all of that. He could have still had his own gun stashed there in case it's an ambush and he needed more guns. But there's no way Lil Wayne should have went to jail for a gun wherever they found it. Not saying the tour bus, just wherever they found it. He should have never went to jail. One of his underlings should have claimed that. You know, see, we riding over here at Unique Mecca Audio, man. You know what I mean? We riding. So, you know, I'm going to take you all over the place. It's about Diddy, but I'm going to tell you about, you know, I don't know if y'all ready for that. You know, so let me get back to that. I don't know. I don't know if y'all really ready for that. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I got a saying that too much water, you know what I mean, will burn the plant, will drown it. You know what I mean? Too much water would drown the plant and too much sunlight will burn the plant. And you're the plant that I'm trying to raise. You understand? So I got to gradually give this to you. But just look at this. Puffy ain't never tell on nobody. You understand what I'm saying? Remember that. He ain't never tell on nobody. He ain't no cop. You understand what I'm saying? But, and I don't get it. You know, it's all snitches and cops leading the pack to get Puff Daddy. Yo, this is mind-blowing to me. But as I was saying, they put anything up on YouTube, they run with it, and the people that don't like you, to go at you and to run it back to where I'm at to keep you there because I'm just riding, like I said. You know what I mean? So when you run it back, it all goes back to, you know, Puffy. You know? They going at this man with the team leader. I don't understand this for the life of me. You know what I mean? All these guys, you know, they grew up together. You understand? And they don't understand that when their lives took different paths, you know what I mean? When their lives took different paths, they should have taken different paths. But instead, you know, they still running together. Gangbangers and cops because they grew up together. A cop grew up next to me. A cop raised me. His name is Freddie Green. out in Teaneck, New Jersey. He taught me how to play baseball, basketball, football. He ran the Pop Warner, the Biddy basketball, all that out there in Jersey. But the day they brought me in for my first robbery, Freddie was sitting there as a lieutenant then. As a lieutenant behind the desk with the bars in his freshly pressed white suit. And he out come in handcuffs. A young man he tried to save. You know what I mean? And they put me in this little cage. This was the first cage they put me in was the smallest cage I've ever been in my life. Maybe because where I was at, because I never was in the cage, it felt small, but it was so small. I would like to go back in that police station and look at that cage because it felt like my shoulders was touching the bars. And I was just a kid. That's how small it was. I felt like I couldn't breathe. And it had bars in the front where air was coming in, but I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like I was claustrophobic in there. If I turned around towards the wall, I felt like I was going to pass out. I had to turn to the front and look out the bars to be able to see more than just this wall right in front of me and be trapped knowing that I can't move, that, and you feel like you want to run. But if you run into the bars of the wall. This was the beginning for me, and Freddie Green was sitting out there. Freddie Green never even came back there and said a word to me. He continued to do his job. When they took me out the next morning to court before I left, I said, "How you doing, Mr. Green?" And I don't even remember if he looked at me or not, but I know that man was ashamed and he felt like like he lost one. You know what I mean? And they took me over there to the county jail. And that's how that began. But let me get back with Puffy. You got all these dudes going after him, right? Now, Tupac got shot. He went to Vibe magazine. And he said that, it was Puffy that shot him at Quad Studios. So that's how Puffy got dragged into all of this. Now, once Tupac did that, then they looked at that and, they said, okay, well, he getting money. He got a voice, da-da-da-da. And, the West rode with Tupac and, the East rode with Puffy. And the magazines pushed it out there like if it was a war, which is crazy because our people hate our own so much that they could want another black man to go to jail, period, regardless of, how much money he got. You know what I mean? Any of that. Many people that I know and what I've seen on TV from the cheering from in Lewisburg Penitentiary, back in 1995, when OJ beat that trial. We as black people was proud that one of ours beat the system. That was in 1995. We were proud, Everybody, felt like, a lot of people felt like, OJ was allegedly guilty of sin, that he did do it. You know what I mean? Yeah, he did that to the white woman. That's what everybody felt. But still, they wanted him to beat the system. They didn't want OJ to go to jail. Because that came right after the Rodney King situation when our people were strong. And that's when the government said, we got to get the Uniques, the Harry O's, the Lou Sims, the Gangsta Lou, the Peter Hugh, you know what I mean? JR from Chicago, he came to mind the other day. Big shout out to JR in Chicago, man. I was with him in Lewisburg and he got lucky and made it to Terminal Island that I told you I was trying to go at. Big smooth dude out of Chicago, JR. Think he was at GD. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I didn't know the difference between the gangs because no disrespect. Back in 95, New York ain't care nothing about no gang. They was just men, if they followed the principle. But JR was either a GD or a vice lord, no disrespect to him. It was one or the other. I just know my man Big B Bernard Goins was a vice lord because I was more in tune with him, when we was in ADX. But we want our own in 2023 to go down. We wanted OJ to beat the system because we were stronger then. When they took us leaders off the street, you understand what I'm saying? The Booby Boys, let's not forget them. The Kenny Speeds in Virginia, let's not forget them. You understand what I'm saying? The Antone Whites out of DC, let's not forget them. You know what I mean? Come on, they take all of these men, these kings, strong black men, that had the power to lead the minds of their people to poison the community and to murder in the community. They took them off. We didn't have a direction to go. We didn't know where we was going. We just knew what we had to get. And that was the bag at any means necessary, whether it was selling drugs or murder. That's how serious it was. That's why I don't want you youngins to get involved in this. But I go away for 26 years, I come back, and now y'all are vilifying one of our own. Where do they do that at? Listen, OJ ran with the white people and had a white wife, and he was in the white world. He had nothing to do with us. You know what I mean? He had nothing to do with us. He played football before a lot of us, even had kids. But that generation wanted OJ to beat the system. But this generation here is going after Puffy like he did something wrong. And, come on, man. Listen, the man has always been 100. The man has always been 100. Now, let me even just touch on, this thing with the masters and all that. You know what I mean? Let me give you a little scenario with that. Because everybody say, oh, but he robbed the people for their masters. He this, he that. Okay, he did all of this. Listen to it. Let me explain how masters work. I don't know what his situation is, so I'm not defending him. I just want to explain to y'all what a masters is. When you hear everybody saying that Dame Dash, I think, got Jay-Z's first, song or album that he did, he owned the masters, and Jay-Z won it back because that was his first. And everybody wanted masters, and a lot of y'all don't even know what a masters is. So I'm going to explain to y'all what a masters is, because these rap dudes, Puffy included, is guilty, is dead wrong, because I'm not picking sides. You know what I mean? He's dead wrong. You know what I mean? So is Jay-Z, Dame Dash, the homie, you know what I mean? They all dead wrong. I've Gotti, you know what I mean? They all dead wrong. The reason why they dead wrong is because you have something called a masters. Now, I know y'all, a lot of y'all should, even the younger ones should know, when you go to buy a house, you go buy a house and you find a house for $700,000 or $1 million. You find a house for $1 million, you go to a bank and you get a loan, get a mortgage on that house, and then they give you a 30-year lease, meaning you have to pay it off in 30 years. You understand? If you don't pay that off in 30 years, then that means that, the house is still mine because you haven't paid that debt. That's a house. Then you have a masters. A masters is the exact same thing. You know what I mean? It's the same thing as a deed. You get with a record label, they give you $1 million to go make your record, whatever, and you're supposed to pay this $1 million back, and then you come back with a banging record, and then they give you the money to promote it and do what you got to do for it, and, get it out there to the people. You know what I mean? But you have to pay that money back. So you didn't pay back the first money. You know what I mean? You made money off the first song. You went and bought your cars, your house, and your jewels, and you all on MTV yelling you the man, and then here you go do another album, and then you go get more money from the company, and you still owe the money, and this keep going on over a number of years, and then you turn around and you hear the word master. You say, man, I want my masters. You know what I mean? You didn't pay for it. That's like going to the bank saying, I want my house. You understand what I'm saying? No, but I put a pool in it. You know what I mean? A jacuzzi. I built an extension to the house. You know, I did the lawn manicure. I should own the house. I put my work in. Just like the rapper put his work in. I done made you an album. I done made you 4 hit songs that was on the Billboard and #1. And this is what is going on. You understand? And then, but the CEOs, the black men, let's say Puffy, Jay-Z, they own these masters, and these rappers didn't, pay back this mortgage money yet. But yet, you know what I mean? They want the house. The house is the masters. They wanted the same. You can't get your masters till you pay off the mortgage, man. Y'all understand? They don't want to teach y'all. That's why I said they dead wrong, but they doing great. You know what I mean? But I just had to give y'all that jewel, because that's one jewel. And that's why the Cash App is on the screen, man. Make sure you push the Civics created in 2020, not 2023, when you push my logo. That's why the Cash App is there. You see these valuable jewels I'm giving you? So you rappers and mothers and aunties and uncles and daddies that got, children that got talent that's getting in the music business, make sure you let them know when they get that upfront money for the house, which is, the music, which is the masters, that they pay that back. You understand what I'm saying? So that they could keep control of their masters. I don't need to go no further with that. So that's why everybody yelling, they want their massive and Puffy because it's been 30 years. But in 30 years, you haven't paid me back everything. If you hear these rappers say, I can show receipts these CEOs say, I can show receipts that, this rapper still owe me. You understand what I'm saying? That's what he didn't recoup back yet. That's what the bank would say. You understand? I can see that, he ain't pay his mortgage, in 4 years. And because 30 years is up, don't mean that you automatically get it. No, you have to pay that back mortgage you ain't paid. So you have to pay that back advances that you've been getting. And this is what you CEOs should let these young men and women know. It'll make it a lot easier for them to understand that you're not crooks. It's just business. I'm going to give you one, because I like to ride. I'm going to give you one. I'm going to give you a good one. I love this one. I got a homie, from Louisiana, real old country boy. Old country boy. You know what I mean? I'm talking about the Jerry Curl, older man, looked like Romy Rome from Martin. You know what I mean? He come down and he got this big rock, but first of all, meaning he dressed like him, but he was official because he was a pimp, so that because he was a pimp don't make him official, but he was an official pimp. You know what I mean? But he just had the Jerry curl and looked like a pimp back in that days, and that's what Romy Rome was making fun of, but he wasn't no clown like that. Let's get that right. But he got a bunch of girls down there in what the hell was that? Kansas City. He had a bunch of girls out in Kansas City. He doing his thing out there. He come up here and he start getting high with the girls. So he come to me and he had a big Stutz Bearcat. You know what I mean? Like what they had in it, if you don't know what that is, that's the car that they had in the DMX movie, Never Lie Alone. The one that DMX left behind that he was driving, that funny looking car. You know what I mean? It's a Cadillac chassis that's built, over in Germany, right? So check, right? Now, he got this car and he come see me and he getting high. He said, yo, let me get 9 ounces. I'll bring it back in 2 weeks and you can hold the title to the car. If I'm not back in 2 weeks, you can keep the title to the car. Because I didn't know him and he came to me, but I met him through good people. You know what I mean? So I said, and the car was worth $250,000. This is a $250,000 car. Look it up. They only made 5 of them a year, worldwide. And he got one of them and he pawned it to me for 9 ounces. All this in my trail, so you rat bastards can say what you want. I did time for this, you know what I mean? And the feds went after this same car, I'm telling you. So you're getting all kinds of jewels, And at this time when this went on, because I like to ride, at this time while this was going on, while I was at the height of my career right there, Puffy was in college in Howard, so you understand how I'm connected to Puffy. Puffy was in college in Howard, and he started throwing parties over on Georgia Avenue. I had a dope spot up by Georgia, by Otis and Georgia, across from the penthouse for my D.C. people. Big love to D.C., Big love to DC. All right, calm down, relax, calm down. So I want you to understand, right? Puffy was going to school in Howard. I was over there on Otis dealing with my little mans and them, and I was also in Southeast, and I was in Hampton, Newport News. I'm all over the place, I didn't get down to Georgia yet, and I was just kind of getting out of Baltimore at the time, But I'm just saying all that to say these are all the different states that I'm selling weight in. And Puffy is in college at this time. See, Puffy took the right way. I took the wrong way. You understand? And when he started throwing the parties, I went to one of his parties. It was about 7 people in the joint. You know what I mean? It wasn't nobody in there. But he was just a college kid, and he's in D.C., so it's a whole nother world that he don't know about. You know what I mean? But it was nice-looking people in there. They was doing their thing. When I said 7, let's say about 20, just keeping it 100, Puff. You remember George Ave, right? So when I rolled up in there and I see, the homie trying to do something, and Kid Capri was up there. You know what I mean? Maybe I went early. That's why it was only 20 people. Not to diss him, but Kid Capri was there. You know what I mean? But mixtapes was traveling, so the mixtapes got to the hood. The mixtapes got to the hood in D.C. I'm giving you all history. You know what I mean? The mixtapes got to the hood of D.C. You know what I mean? But it didn't get to the colleges yet, unless it was people in the college that was connected to people in the hood. That's how they got the Kid Capri tapes. Because don't think that, Kid Capri, Ron G, Doo-Wop, Double J, SNS, you know what I mean? Don't think that these dudes' tapes, was everywhere, like if it was in a record store being distributed. No, it was everywhere it needed to be, which was in the hood. So if you're from the hood, you knew about it. But long story short, back to Puffy, Georgia Ave, you know what I mean, in the parties. I'm riding. See, this is how I ride. If you don't like it, you can tap out. You know what I mean? So check, right? Put your seatbelts on for this one, right? So I go over to Southeast and, grab a few of the homies. I tell them, yo, the homie got a party up here next week, And I go back, over there to Northwest and over to Southeast and tell a few, homies that I know over there. And, we all met up and then we drove up to the joint, you know what I mean? And that's how, a lot of the dudes from the hood knew about Puffy's party because they didn't know who Puffy was. Because Puffy was just a college kid, but he's living in D.C., just keeping it 100. You understand? I know I look young, but I'm giving you all the history. I'll be 60 next year. You know what I mean? So now, while this is going on, when I go back to New York, I tell my New York homies, Kid Capri down here, you know what I mean, with Puffy, they doing their thing. So we shoot down to D.C., about 10 carloads, you know what I mean? Everybody going down here to have a good time because we going out of town to D.C. It's only 4 hours ride. That's like y'all go to Vegas, you know what I mean, from Cali. So we shoot down to D.C. and go to Puffy party, you know what I mean? The hustlers that I invited from D.C. is down there, and now the hood is there, and now the college kids hear about how this kid Puffy parties is banging. He got the gangsters. He got the shakers and bakers and rulers and the movers. He had everybody in his party down there in D.C. I'm talking about the biggest killers. You know what I mean? You couldn't even have a number, you know what I mean, on how many murders these men and women, that was going up in that joint, had, and Puffy's running it. You understand? And he got so big down there and got so big into it. You know what I mean? That's when, he went to become an intern. So you see how long I known Puffy. And I'm not defending him because of that. Because if he was a rat bastard, I would tell him he's a rat bastard. But Puffy ain't never tell on nobody, and he one of us, my nigga. Because he didn't decide to sell drugs because his daddy was smart enough to put him where he put him, to get him in the school he needed to get him in, to get to college he needed to get to where he's at today. Don't hate on him, man. Since when we do that as a people? We rooted for OJ that didn't care nothing about us. OJ haven't looked black since he won the Heisman. And here go a black man making hits for you, come in the neighborhood, build a school in Harlem, did all of this, and y'all want to tear him down? Listen, the same way my generation didn't care if OJ was guilty or innocent. Is the same way y'all should feel about this, but look at it for the facts of what it is. This is a cop that deputized a bunch of gang members to try and bring down another black man. And then he's on YouTube the other day saying that, oh, Keefie D, he might not get convicted. I ain't say he's gonna get convicted. I just said he was gonna go to jail. There's a difference between jail and prison. Nigga, I listen to everything you say because I'm a god, my nigga. I'm a king. I'm a real OG. I'm not a cop faking with a bunch of fake gangsters that you deputize, nigga. Get this shit straight, man. Stop diminishing the hood like that. You chose to be a cop. You say you respect your homies. You grew up in Pop Warner. Or respect that they was gangsters. Don't take down their legacy by converting them. Well, they was already weak rat bastards if they allowed you to corrupt them anyway. But this is what I'm talking about, man. Reggie Wright and his team is going after Puffy so that, this is their plan, so that Keefie D gets acquitted and then they wind up suing Puffy. This is what came out of Reggie White's mouth, that he planned on suing Puffy when Keefie D joint is over. So Reggie, you exposing that you got a plan to get Puffy so you can get to his bag that way? My nigga, you's a dirty dog. Hey, yo, for a snake, that's a genius snake thought. This man made it to the top. You jealous of where he's at. Your man Suge, what's the last name? I've been saying it all week. Suge Knight. You know what I mean? Your man Suge Knight. I don't know none of y'all. I'm just sitting back. I've been watching and reading about your antics in the magazines and seeing you on TMZ for 26 years in federal prison. But nigga, you got a real nigga that's seeing what's happening. You going after Puffy with this fake narrative. Listen, Shock G said that Tupac had 4 hits out on him, 2 in LA and 2 in Oakland. Puffy from New York. Puffy one man, so he couldn't have put those 4 hits out. But this was Shock G's mouth. A couple of days later, Shock G found dead in a hotel because he put it out there that Tupac had 4 beats, 2 in LA and 2 in Oakland. My nigga, it's not hard for a real OG like me to see through you, man. You even say, OJ set the standard, because that's your hero. OJ set the standard. You know what I mean? You see how they sued OJ for the state, so it's a lot easier because the standards, you know what I mean, and the hurdles and the reasonable doubts and all that is a hell of a lot easier. Come on, cop. You're doing all this to get one of our... You're not even black, man. I don't even look at you as a black man. No disrespect. You're not black. I don't know what you mix with. You know what I mean? This ain't about race, but I don't believe you. You don't love your people. You know what I mean? And I could understand that. So I'm going to break you down right now, right? I'm going to break you down right now. In New York, we got a lot of these Irish cops that, grow up around, in the Bronx and all that, in Brooklyn. And then they become cops. And, their partners, they become real mob figures. You understand what I'm saying? That don't work with them. You see what happened to Whitey Bulger. You know what I mean? Whitey Bulger is a part of you and your team. That's your history. Reggie White, Mob James, and everybody else running under him in his team, you know what I mean, of get Puffy, you know what I mean, so they can get to Puffy's bag, you know what I mean? Your life is going to play out in history the same as Whitey Bulger's did. Whitey Bulger got away about 30, 40 years too, Mr. Keefie D, because you were part of that. You know what I mean? But now, because you got your team captain and owner and CEO and coach and everything else, because these dudes around him can't think past go. That's how it's so easy to figure these dudes out. When you look at them, you can see who they are, man. Straight clowns. You know what I mean? Dude there like this. Dude, you had a stroke. You too old to be on YouTube, man. He can't even wipe his face. Come on, man. Again, that's not to diss him. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, man, you a cop, man. Go retire, my brother. Like other honest cops, go retire. Come on, man. And you going after Puffy with the shenanigans? Man, stop it, man. Man, please stop this. We making our race look bad worldwide while they're analyzing this Tupac thing. And the world is so confused because right here in America is confused. Because if you think it's right to root for a cop and a bunch of informant rat bastards to go with a man that never told and daddy came from the hood and got him out, and you want to roll with this dude? Yo, my nigga, I don't take sides. Yo, Puffy, if you turn out to be a rat bastard, I'm going to say you're a rat bastard. But I can't say that because you're a civilian. You know what I mean? But if you was in the street with us and you did that, I would call you a rat bastard. But Puffy's a straight civilian. You know he paying the taxes. You can't say Puffy gangster. He never even said he sold a gram of cocaine. You know? And then Jada go on YouTube and say that, you know, she was selling drugs and y'all went wild. Oh, you couldn't have been selling drugs. Nigga, stop it. Those are niggas that, come on, these are either kids, niggas that ain't been on the street, or haters. Jada from the hood, man. I told you, Jada lived with Kev, man. That's his girl. I'm not going to get into their business. When he went to jail, that's who she was dealing with, going to visit, writing letters. Jada Pinkett was visiting the homie in jail and then met Will while this was still going on. And the bag took her away. But her heart never left. That's why I was never with Will. And at that same time, she met Tupac. So now she meeting another thug. But she's meeting a character. You know what I mean? You know, because that's what Tupac was. He was a character. He was a good gangster figure. So you call him a character. That's not in a disrespectful form. So you are rat bastards and trolls and flip-flop wearing in public clowns. You know, get off my channel. You know? So that's where I'm at that I want y'all to really understand, man. Y'all going after one of your own that never told. Never did anything. They weren't about his sexuality. They weren't about this. They weren't about that. Oh, and this is public knowledge. That dude on the CNN that I be watching sometime, what the heck is his name? The white dude with the salt and pepper hair, he came out and said he was gay. You understand what I'm saying? America didn't say nothing. And he came out and said it, and they accepted it. And instead, y'all giving this man a label that he's gay. He never said it. You know what I mean? It's a problem. Here goes a white man that says it, and he's honored. Cooper. Anderson Cooper. That's his name. Good man. You know what I mean? But he's gay, and he came out and said he's gay, and America had no problem with him. He kept his job, and it was nothing. And then here go a man that y'all accuse of being gay. That run around with all the baddest broads. Who gives a crap who is or what is? You know what I mean? Come on. Now, so this is what we're dealing with. You know what I mean? But that's what social media turned to. And then the people that don't like them, you know, they get caught up on the jealousy, the envy, you know what I mean? And, you know what I mean, the side eye of how this nigga make it and I didn't. You know what I mean? Back in the day, they used to say stuff like, man, that nigga get money. That Benz is all right, but I wouldn't have put them rims on it. Nigga, you walking. You don't even have a token in your pocket. And you talking about what kind of rims I should have put on my $100,000 car? That's the same thing over here, you know what I mean, with Puffy and what's going on. Everybody is worried about what's happening in his lane. You're not in his lane. Stay out of it. Root for your own. And yeah, I'm going to say it. Guilty or innocent. It don't matter. We root for our own. But you know Puffy ain't had nothing to do with that. The reason why is because listen, Tupac was was talking greasy to killers on records, real killers on records. You know what I mean? He was talking reckless to killers and gang members, real gang members. You understand? Then he had a shootout in Atlanta with the ultimate gang members in blue, the police. You understand what I'm saying? Look at all these different entities that he had going on. And then you try and point the finger. And that's why it was so easy for this dude, Caden, and them to come up with the story that it was, over Orlando getting beat up. It might have been. You know what I mean? But it was easy because they had Reggie Wright in there. So they knew everything that was going on. They knew at real time. They knew when the death row chain was going to get snatched. They knew when the death row chain got snatched. They knew when Orlando was coming to, to L.A. They knew why he was coming to L.A. They knew everything, man. They got the police working with them. Reggie White is the chief of security and his father was the chief of the gang members. The hell are y'all stupid? How could you listen to anything this man say against a man that never told us one of us? This is so stupid and sickening to even think about it, man. I go to jail for 26 years. I come home to our people lost worse than sheep, where they're condemning one of their own that made it out the ghetto. How many of us when we was growing up, or even now, that seen somebody committed a small crime in the neighborhood? If you see a kid put something in the purse, you know what I mean? Or you see somebody pick up something off of somebody's lawn, whatever, and you just mind your business and stay in your lane. And you don't tell on that. And you root for that person. Because you didn't call the police to put him in jail. Because you know him, because you know he's family. That's how our generation was about all of our black people. But I come home after 26 years, and it's, he just back out, he just back out, he just back out, he just back out, he just back out. This is what I come home to. We're supposed to stick together, man. And I try not to diss nobody on my channel, but I just speak the facts. And when I hear people doing stuff like this, to this man, just look at him, never been arrested. Damn near. You know what I mean? But I ain't never tell nothing. You know, that's what I'm standing on. That's why I said, that's why I run with Suge Knight. I represent Suge Knight at this moment from what I'm seeing his actions. I'm looking at his actions from right now as far as him knowing that he could just tell who shot him, who shot Tupac, saw the biggest murder, and whatever he say, that's what it is. And they'll let him out of jail. But instead, he's going to stay there for 28 years because he refused to tell. I got to respect a man like that. And then you got these clowns out here scared to sacrifice anything. And this man has sacrificed his life. Because he get killed at any moment in the prison. A hell of a lot faster down here. He's sacrificing his life to honor the principles of this game. And y'all don't understand that. Instead, you're on YouTube talking about, we really lived it, y'all. We still living it. Suge Knight showed you we still living it. I talk to dudes every day still living it. And like I said yesterday, you know, police came to me about who killed my brother. I told them, I'm not going to help you do nothing. You solve the case on yourself. They said, well, just tell us and we'll let you go. I said, no, you don't have to let me go. I would never make a deal with the police. Period. Man, it's hard, man. Don't get involved in this life, y'all. It ain't worth it. But I've been on here long enough. Think about what I said, man. This is one of us, man. This is one of us. You should all be ashamed. I don't care what he did. Like I said, I don't care about, and so y'all understand where I'm at. I don't care about the nigga that killed my brother. And like I said yesterday, God forbid if my mama get killed, I wouldn't help the police solve my own mama's murder. Be mad at me. But I'm twisted. And I don't want the youth to be twisted like this, because this is not the way to think. But this is the way I'm living. And I don't want you living like this. You know what it's like when you talk to people. You know what it's like for me to even tell you that. You know what I mean? And just picture your faces as I'm telling you this. I wouldn't help them solve my mama's murder. And my mama right here upstairs with me, I kiss her every time I walk by her. Love her to death. But I wouldn't tell on. Never would I help them solve my mother's case or any case. That's why I couldn't tell all my brother when he was dead, because it ain't about going doing time because they're dead. Oh, nobody did time. No, forget to go and do time. You know what I mean? You're helping the police to close a case. So now you're working with the police officially. And when you're on the street, you don't want that on your resume. And that's why it baffled me that this kid, Mob James, is running behind this cop to get a man that didn't tell or nothing, that's been stand up. If you got a beef with him, deal with him. Tell him you want to have a celebrity boxing match with him. Put your biggest guy from Compton in there in the ring with him. But don't try and tear him down. Where they do that at? However you want to see him, see him. Reggie Wright don't care if Keefie D go to jail. Used him as a sacrificial lamb. You know what I mean? To go up there, made him comfortable. Yeah, go up on that. Yeah, go up on no jumping. Go up on this show. Go up on that show. Go. That's what Reggie tell him, because that's the ringleader. Go up on that show. Yeah, go ahead. You can tell them that. You can tell them they can't do nothing. Yeah, you signed proper. Oh, yeah, you was a queen for a day. You didn't have to put on a dress. You know what I mean? Go on and sign it. And this is what Reggie Wright did to this clown. Now, he talked his way in the cell, and Reggie already got his lawyer riled up, waiting for the trial to be over so he could go sue Puffy. That was the plan the whole time. It ain't that hard, man. Don't think it got to be something intricate like the news been making it, like how, Elvis is still alive and all that. You know what I mean? For 60 years, Don't fall into that, man. It's right in front of your face. You're watching it. He got a channel. He's telling you what's going on. He said he's waiting on Puffy. You know what I mean? So he could take him to court. He said, I know Puffy ain't going to jail, but as soon as the Keefie D trial over, I'm going to sue him. That's out his mouth. And then you got all these gang members that they feel they're going to get a piece of that bag by messing with this dude. So now they're going at Puffy for his bag for that. Yo, this is a sad day, man. It's a sad day in America to come home after looking at four walls for 26 years, thinking that I'm standing for something, thinking I'm representing something, and then come out here to it watered down and diminished to nothing. Breaks my heart to see y'all sit there going at one of our own. Like I said, man, Orlando Anderson went to get Suge out of jail so he could finish the beef on the street. So you see how real this was. But these rat bastards want to sit here and say he did it for 60,000. Hell yeah, he took it for 60. Suge showed him that's how serious it is. I give you 60,000, nigga. I dare you to let me out. If that's what he did, that's the mentality. Like I said, if that's what he did for you rat bastards, I'm just telling you how we think. Listen, man, this is how Suge thinking. You know what I mean? I don't even know the brother, but I know the mentality. Suge thinking Orlando a gangster. Yo, tell Orlando I give him 60 grand, nigga, just to let him know that I ain't scared of him. I'm trying to come out there and I'm trying to see him. And Orlando didn't even have to think about it. He called his uncle Keefie D, and told him, bring 2 guns, we go in the lawyer office. You know what it's like when a nigga say bring 2 guns to the lawyer office? The lawyer office like say, I'm going to court, bring 2 guns. That's what it's like when you say go to the lawyer office and you say bring 2 guns. You know what I mean? I'm going to meet with with the client. Bring 2 guns. Y'all don't understand how real this life is, man. And I can stay out here all night just laughing because this is funny and it's just so common sense and blatant in your face. You know what I mean? He told her, Keefie D, bring 2 guns. We got to meet up with Suge at the lawyer's office. You know what I mean? He was like, oh, God damn, that was gangster. But that's how serious this thing is. That's why I say don't get involved. It's not worth it, man. You don't want to be thinking twisted like this where you're not even going to help the police serve your mama murder and don't feel no way about it. You know how people look at me when I tell them that in person? I don't give a crap about you, nigga. If you ain't following the principles. But that don't mean I dislike you. That just means, I don't give a crap about you. And you stay over here, I stay over there. And if we cross paths, no problem. We could even, just walk by like it's no problem. Because I know who you are. And I respect you for being you know, the rat bastard that you are. And you should be comfortable with that, because that's what you chose for yourself. Like I chose principle, you chose that. Just admit it and just move on, and then we all just try and live together, man, the same way that, you know, the LGBTQ is pushing to get things together. You know, the gangsters need to make sure that they understand, and the regular, you know, rat bastards, you know, need to understand that we could all live together the same as the LGBTQ, just stay in your lane. That's all they ask. Everybody just asks to stay in your lane and respect who we are. Respect that I'm a gangster and, you know, you're a rat. That's all. It's not that complicated, man. I mean, that's why I don't understand why they make videos. You know, they want to hate on me, say this and that. You know what I mean? I'm just being who I am. I'm telling you who I am. Tell me who you are. But don't tell me that you're a gangster, and then the next video you're telling me that you're a civilian. You know what I mean? And then the next video you're a gangster, then you're a civilian, and then you're telling something and you're saying that you told when you was a civilian. No, you don't pick and choose, you know, more than one side. And that's what the problem is. But at the same way I say we could all move and live together, man, that's the way we're supposed to live together, and we have a role model, man. We got Puff Daddy that made it out of Harlem, man. Out of a kingpin nutsack from Harlem. That's who you looking at. You know what his father feel like looking up at him? Y'all don't even think that. You know what I mean? Y'all don't even think that. You know how his father feel right now looking up at him where he made it, even with everything going on. But all his father tell him, stay strong. Nigga, we made for this. Stay strong. If somebody loyal to you, they're going to come out and help you. You know what I mean? If somebody loyal to the cause, they're going to come out and help you. Somebody loyal to the principles that I raised you under, they're going to come out and help you. And you ain't got to say nothing. And I'm here to speak for you, my brother. Come on, man. You know? I'm just talking about all this suing him and lock him up. Come on, man. I mean, if they want justice, people that want justice and he deserved to be locked up because he did something wrong, then by all means, he should be locked up to give you all that justice, and you have a right to want that. But when you choose to be on the street, your right is just straight up, nah. You know what I mean? Do you know that there's people that when they go to court and they make them his jury duty, they go in already, they mind made up, they not finding the person guilty? They had that plenty of times in courts where they wound up trying to overturn cases. Remember, I've been studying cases of 26 years where people go in and just don't, you know? But, man, let me tap out. I've been in here long enough. I'm just chilling, man. Just right. Just feel like alive or something, you know what I mean? But that's where we at, man. Like I said, man, it's, you know, we shouldn't tear down on our own, man. You know what I mean? The same way we rooted for OJ, man, rooted for Puff Daddy. Stop the faking. All right?
Cheers, cheers, toast the crime, toast the crime, the crime, the crime, the crime.
Fresh out the can of 26, yeah. He back on the strip, getting back in the mix. Yeah. What he mentions a gift. You stand up 10 toes down, and I suggest you pay attention to this. Real. Take a little gully posse and put it in Harlem. He cut from the bottom, came up from the bottom. Drop the book, you should go and get it. The Instagram page and the YouTube, you could go and visit. Yeah. Then you could consider yourself LinkedIn. Sit front row and get Jews from a kingpin. How he went through it, so you ain't gotta go do it. To not pay attention would be stupid. Talking about a man that probably put your grandfather on. Probably the reason that him and your grams got along. A man that generated millions on the block, did his time, never squilling to the cops, Mecca audio. Get it live like 2 G's in the 90s. Drop top beamer so shiny. I let shorty go, she was whining. Treat her like my past, she behind me. Spend a couple bands on the Dapper Dan. You be back again, getting green like a Packers fan. No cap, it's a roaring uptown. They be horn uptown, Dominican bust downs. Now we on the positive, we got a lot to give. Now he trying to stop the kids from being inoperative. So take heed, homie, lend a ear. He started in uptown, he gon' finish dead. But now it ain't about selling drugs, buying cars. It's about buying property to make the community yours. So we can give back to the youth them. Cause they the truth them. And bless up to all the root men.